Well, people on both sides of the border have waited more than a year and a half to hear the news. The U.S. is finally reopening its border with Canada. Good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Levin. Mary Alice is off tonight. Now, the announcement from Washington means that non-essential travel from across the border is just a few weeks away. We have live team coverage for you tonight. Our Leanne Stuck is looking at what it means for the local economy, and we'll also start tonight with Kelly Dudzik to explain how it's actually going to work. Kelly?
Hi, Scott. While Americans have been allowed to go to Canada for non-essential travel since August, Canadians haven't been allowed to come here to the U.S. for non-essential travel, and that will all change in November when land crossings and ferry crossings reopen to Canadians who are fully vaccinated. They will not have a testing requirement to get into the U.S. They'll just have to show proof of vaccination. To go back into Canada, Canadians will have to follow the same testing rules that we have to follow to cross the border. You need a negative test within 72 hours of going over, and you need to be fully vaccinated. Congressman Brian Higgins has been pushing to reopen the border for months, and he said today he'd like the testing requirement relaxed on the Canadian side. The fear is that the testing requirement could make people less likely to want to visit the U.S., so Higgins said our government is going to work with the Canadian federal government to try to relax that rule. Today he was also asked about people who mixed vaccines or got the AstraZeneca one in Canada that you can't get here in the U.S.
Our hope is that if it's recognized by the World Health Organization, that will be accepted by the United States as a vaccine that is approved for emergency use. But I'm hoping that the White House will clarify that issue today, because obviously it's very important.
The State Department has not announced a date yet for the border reopening. Higgins says he would like that to be November 1st. And the rules have not changed for Americans going into Canada. You still need to have that test at least 72 hours before crossing over. For more on the economic impact of all this, we're sending it now to my colleague Leanne Stuck.
Yeah, Kelly, it is easy to say that this is welcome news for the business community. After 19 months of losing a significant amount of business due to the closure, I'm told that both the tourism and retail industries are breathing a sigh of relief tonight. Now, John Percy is the president and CEO of Destination Niagara USA. He called this welcome news for the entire region. He said Canadians spend on average $100 million in retail sales alone in Niagara Falls. Funds that businesses have been going without for almost 2 years. Percy said once the border opens up, he's not sure if Canadians will flock to Niagara Falls immediately or slowly trickle in. He also said in terms of hotel numbers, this summer was good. He said there were many domestic travelers that stayed here that may have stayed in Canada before.
A lot of those dollars are spent in that mall, and as we're going into holidays, that mall has been waiting with such patience and really very excited. I haven't spoken to them today, but I'll bet they're doing happy dances all throughout that center today.
And Percy said that the fashion outlet mall has been patiently waiting for this day and said they're glad this happened before the holiday shopping season. Now, again, this does not go into effect until early November. We still do not have a date as to exactly when Canadians will be able to travel over here, but I am told that businesses at least are happy to hear that there's an end in sight. In Buffalo, Leanne Stock, Channel 2 News.